So now we're going to walk through the process of doing returns for studio services. As you probably noticed by now, the processes for the same tasks that you do for regular fashion styling and styling for films and TV are completely different. With fashion styling, you can get away with returning clothes with no special paperwork, but for productions, it's quite different. So let's go through this step by step and make sure you're taking notes. So when you do your pull, the studio services department will give you a memo, which is basically your pull sheet, and that's the pink sheet that you're looking at right here. But since you're dealing with a retail store, the memo contains a lot more information than a regular pull sheet, such as barcodes, item descriptions, the brand names, full retail prices, because remember, they're going to charge you a restocking fee of 20 to 25%, depending on which place it is. So it's important to keep track of how everything adds up. So as you can see on this far right photo, this particular pull came up to a total of $24,141.49. And the restocking fee came up to, as you can see over here, came up to $4,828. So again, I can't stress enough how important it is to stay on top of the budget that you're given for productions, because even though you can pull as much as you want with studio services, don't go too crazy because you will have that restocking fee plus tax over here on top of everything. So now let's go through a return step by step. So first you're going to start off with the items tag. Now look at the last four numbers on the store tag and use that as your guide. Now find those numbers on the memo, and since this photo doesn't show the full sheet, but the barcodes will be the first thing you see on the studio services memo. So once you find the match, you're going to simply mark it off returned as by writing an R, which stands for return along with the date, so you know when the item was returned. Because with large pulls like this, as you can see, this one was well over $20,000 worth of clothes. Things will most likely be returned on multiple trips. So you want to make a note of which items were returned on what date. That way, if things supposedly go missing, you have a paper trail. Actually, not supposedly. I've been on many TV shows, commercial jobs, and something goes missing every single time. It never fails. So make sure that you also take photocopies of everything. When you're done marking off your returns, before you take it back to studio services, do yourself and studio services a favor by putting the clothes in the order that it's listed on the memo. So I'm going to go back just a second so you can see all the different brands and all the different clothing. So put it in that order right here. So it's a lifesaver and they will love you for that. I mean, who wants to check off $20,000 worth of clothes and not knowing where to start? So it's all about staying on that good side, like I'm telling you. So the other ways that you will have to do returns sometimes is by the regular old return receipt. So the process here is basically making sure that you hold on to all the receipts in a safe place, so at the end of the job, they can actually get returned. I keep my receipts in a giant manila envelope. You know, those yellow brownish ones, those really big ones? They're huge, so all your receipts will fit right in, and they have a little knob for extra protection, because the last thing you want to do for your receipt is have it fall out somewhere and not know where to find it. So yeah, stay on top of your receipts, and you just need to make sure that all the totals, they add up to the amount of the petty cash that they gave you at the beginning of the job. So here in this photo, this is from a commercial job that I did, and this is a credit reimbursement. So initially they gave me some cash, but I had to go over the budget because they requested a bunch of new things 2 days before the shoot. So they had to give me their business credit card, and I had to fill out this credit card reimbursement form. And I know it might look scary to fill out, but honestly, it's really just writing down the totals of each receipt I had and making sure that all the numbers matched up. So all in all, remember that studio services and rental houses are your bestest friend, especially if you're working in productions, because that's pretty much how you're going to get all the clothes for your jobs. And I know I've said it 300 times by now, but stay on budget because you will literally have to pay for it when it's all said and done.